Good morning, and this is take two because I screwed up and I am obsessive compulsive, so I had to do it again. This isn't a great program. This is just morning thoughts, but when I screw up, I was like, "All right, let's see if we can hit the redo button on that." And Marvy, I saved your comments from the first video, so I'm going to post those when I post this on One One Forever. So this is the morning blog. I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to convert this over and bring it to the Morning Nosh on Wild One Forever. This feels more like mine, but at the same time, the Morning Nosh is mine. So I kind of struggle with that. So good morning, everybody. It is December 1st. For those of you who say it or do it, bunny bunny or rabbit rabbit, depending on where you are from. I don't know what that means, but I've done it since I was a kid. I don't know. I'm going to look that up too. That's going to be something that I write about. Like, why do we say that? Is it like a superstitious thing? Is it just a kid thing that we just do because I don't know? But I got up early this morning and I went for my run. And I basically had the park to myself. Why? Because I'm trying to share this, and the angle is really bad. It is 37 degrees outside, so it does get cold in Florida. I've got a message here on my phone saying freeze warning, and this is basically what I wore. I wore my long sleeves, and I figured I was moving, so not a big deal. And actually, I'm okay. But today is going to be a long pants and socks day, which I almost never do. Um, I don't care how cold it gets here, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. And I'm not turning on the heat because I refuse to. I live in Florida. It's just one of those mindset things. I came from New York, so uh, even in New York, 37 is cold. I mean, we would turn the heat on, but I'm like Florida. No, it's hot here. It's hot here. So I'm just going to be stupid until I can't take it anymore. But right now it's probably just adrenaline. My husband is off to work, so I'm not so distracted. Um, but if you are following along on my YouTube channel, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and follow me on my social media. I've got a link tree, which is a really cool tool as far as putting all of your social links and your website links in one spot. So check out Linktree. I shared my QR code on my Instagram channel, and if you look for MEREJ99, um, you'll basically find me all over the place because I sign up for everything with that name because I've used it since 1999, and it kind of ticks me off that Facebook won't let me, probably because it locked me out of a really old account, and I'm mad about that. So, yeah, I had the park to myself. It was kind of chilly, and I think those people are wicked smart because they're like, it's cold, baby, it's cold outside. And they didn't want to freeze their little dogs because most of them had these little poofy dogs. Useless dogs, as far as I'm concerned. Adorable as hell. I mean, you can snuggle with them, but yeah, I like the big, medium sized dogs. That's what I have. Those 70 pounders that try and climb on your lap and think they're little tiny poofy dogs. Um, but one of the things that I said from the earlier uh, attempt at live streaming is the fact that there are times when you say a word and you repeat it or you write it often enough and it doesn't look like a real word anymore. And I actually that happened to me a couple of weeks ago where I was just writing my name and I was like, did I spell that right? I mean, it just didn't look right. Physically speaking, that kind of happened to my legs. Today I was just like, legs, you want to walk? And they're like, no, we don't know what that means. So I really felt awkward today. I don't know if you've ever felt that way. It's not like your legs fell asleep or anything. It's just like that physical motion of like, are we doing this right? Um, I know that sounds kind of crazy, but that's the way it is. And Carl Witzman, thank you for tuning in to take two of this. I have downloaded MUNZEE. I was at the laundromat the other night when it was really late. It was really dark, and I happened to be in the shopping plaza where the laundromat is, and I saw about four Munzees. And I was by myself, and I wasn't about to walk in the middle of a parking lot looking for Munzees at night. That's a little creepy, and I probably look like I was a crazy woman. But I think what I'm going to do is tomorrow, if it's decent weather, I'll probably go a different route. I might not because it's actually a 2.5 mile circle if I go to the shopping plaza, from the house and just do a whole circle and try and get as many Munzees as possible. So anybody who doesn't know what a Munzee is, it's kind of like geocaching. And one of these days I might actually get Carl on here and explain it to me because it looks like fun. The one that I was really close to, it said it was at the bus stop, and I was there, and again, this was the other night, and it was at night. So I'm circling the bench at the bus station. I'm circling, and I'm like, "Where's the QR code?" And I had my flashlight on my phone, and I looked like a crazy person. And then I looked at the directional, and it said that I was maybe 65 feet away from it. I'm like, that's not the bus stop. So I didn't walk across and go check every light pole in the parking lot. Again, that might be okay in the daytime, but at nighttime they either think you're crazy or I don't know, uh, something. But so Carl says, no, not at night. Sometimes I get those in the early morning before the muggles wake up. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe if the parking lot is empty, or maybe it's a little more weird when it's full. I don't know. It's just one of those things. But at least I know that there are people in the area who are doing it. Why aren't there any in the park? I may have to resolve that issue because there are a lot of places where we could put a Munzee in the park. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was a really cool interview that Matthew and I had last night with Billy Tucci and his wife Deborah. That was on Geek Speak. And we've got some other really cool interviews that are coming up through December. So I want you guys to stay tuned. Head over to Geek Insider, hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel, and give it some love. The live streams are great. The people that we are interviewing are really good. They're open to conversations and questions and things like that. So if you have any questions, you can send them to me at Meredith at geekinsider.com. On Thursday, we have Tim English. He has written the Lennon book, and John Lennon. So he's got some insight with that. And on Saturday we have Sean DN. You might know him as 8-Bit Shinobi. He does a podcast as well as drinks that are related to comics. It's an interesting mix. I meant to say that. And then next Thursday, we have Jake Yacompyatt, who is going to be on Geek Speak with us. And if you are into cryptocurrency or blockchain, he is the co-founder and the lead developer of Decred. So really interesting stuff going on with that and the blockchain space. I think for me personally, I'm on a kind of a really tight deadline as far as getting my manuscript, like the final edition of my manuscript, up on Amazon. Right now, the Kindle edition is up for pre-order. Those are for any of you who, if you've got Amazon Prime or Kindle, you can probably download that for free. I have to get the manuscript up by December 11th so that it is available by the 15th, which is when that is supposed to launch. The manuscript will also be available on Amazon for the soft cover, but I'm letting you guys know that I am launching a Kickstarter for that. I was kind of tossed between Indiegogo and Kickstarter. I think most of my connections are through Kickstarter at this point in time. and I've done a lot of support and stuff like that. And it's really cool that they have a network where if you're following people or they're following you, that they will get notifications. So I've got that going. You guys can head over to Kickstarter. I think I'm under Mara J99 there as well. Um, the cool thing about the Kickstarter is that it is taking my book, which is prose, and not only is the Kickstarter supposed to help offset the cost of printing the book, so that I'll have physical copies, I can sign them. I actually have these really cool metal cards that are going to go into them. This one is going to be exclusive through Comixplex because I participated in 101 Tales and read actually two of the stories from the book. And then this one is the cover. It's a really nice metal card. It's the size of a playing card. And so that's really cool. You can use this as a bookmark or a cup holder, whatever. If you want to stick a magnet on it, you can stick it on your refrigerator. I might have that option as well. But so I'll have those. I have other things that are kind of book related swag that's going to be available on the Kickstarter as kind of stretch goals. What I'm trying to do with that is merge the prose with the comic books because I'm doing both. The dyeing, which is one of the projects that I'm working on, I'm waiting for the ink on the last 3 pages of the 8-page story. It's not a story arc necessarily, it's the beginning of the story. And that is going into Terraformed Continuum, which is the anthology series. So I've got to deliver the 8 pages there in time for the anthology. I thought I had a picture of it. I'm actually going to upload that. But so I'm taking the stories from the Compendium of Dread, Volume 1. I am scripting them out, and eventually those are going to become comic books. Like horror comics. So if you're into that, it's going to be really cool. So the Kickstarter is really to help offset the cost of printing as well as paying for more art because I want to continue with this journey and see where it takes me. And how cool would that be to see where it started as far as prose and then see what it looks like in comic book format. And then eventually, like the dream, I guess, would be to take the prose, take all of those comic books, put them together into like a graphic novel. So you have a whole series of things. Now, the Compendium of Dread originally began as a writing project on one of my blockchain writing sites. It started on Steemit. It kind of migrated over to Whale Shares. And I had put out a call to action. Anybody who is interested in submitting a flash fiction story in the horror genre to submit it to me. They would get credit on it. And if there was ever profit, which I never expect profit off of a book, quite honestly, I write because I love to write. If there was anything, it would be split minus like publishing costs. And I waited and nobody submitted a story. And so it was like, if I ever want to get this book published, I'm just going to have to do it myself. So a lot of these stories are things that I've written. They're everything that I've written. Well, not everything, just the horror stories kind of compiled into one. There's microfiction, there's flash fiction. And microfiction, I mean, like less than a page, like maybe a paragraph, and that's part of the journey of editing right now is making sure that they are expanded a little bit so that the book is worth your money. And a lot of that came from reading it out loud when I was doing Indievent, when we were doing the Spooky Tales. When I participated in 101 Tales, I had to read these out loud, and I saw issues, so I was fixing it before I had to read it, and so that was really kind of cool. for people to hear the stories and start generating interest in it. So one can hope. I don't. I have hope, but I don't have high expectations. So the only thing I can do is just hustle and get this out there and get that work done and off my table and start working on volume two. Maybe I'm in a community now that is going to be more open to submitting a story so that volume two isn't just all mine. And again, that's the dream, to take this anthology, to take these stories, prose, for the writers out there, if you're interested, and maybe see it converted into a comic book. How cool would that be? You know? I mean, I'm almost 50 and I'm doing comic books for the first time in my life. And I love the journey. I love the people that I'm connected with and where it's taking me. Who knew I was going to be on this journey when I started? So it's very exciting, and I'm really hoping that more people will jump on board. And why not? It's fun when it's not stressful. But I think that's about it, guys. This was take two. I was looking for the art. I'm trying to remember where I saved it. Oh, here it is. Just so that if you wanted to get a sneak peek into some things that I'm working on. So this is the dying, and this is actually the prose version is in the Compendium of Dread. Um, and this is, I scripted it out. This is actually the interior page one, where you see the bridge. It is actually a real bridge in Mississippi, and you see a girl, and she's getting ready to jump, guys. Kind of dark, kind of dark. And then I've got a second one here. Let me pull this up real quick. And this is a scene. It's kind of a memory, when things were all nice and pretty, and then it gets really dark. If you follow my Instagram, I will be posting a little bit more of the art there that I'm getting from Antonio Brandao. He is amazing. The journey behind that I will probably share on the Comic Noob, which is a title that I am still claiming, even though Rob is trying to get me to shed that. He says, "You're not a comic noob anymore." And I'm like, "Yes, I am. I haven't delivered a book yet." The dying is going to be it. When that gets published in Terraform Continuum, I will consider that delivered when it is in your hot little hand. And on that note, guys, wow, almost 20 minutes rambling. I've got stuff to do. I don't feel like doing it right now. And I'm still trying to figure out how my legs work because, kind of stupid that way. Why? The other thing that I'm doing, guys, is Geek Insider. That's another hat that I wear. I am going to be doing a review on this clutch charger, and it claims to be the world's thinnest charger. And I'm going to show you this really quickly. It has a really nice presentation, this nice box. All right, and if you look at this thing, I put the Geek Insider card in there because it is about the size of a business card, really thin. This is for an Android phone, and if you can charge it up, it comes with a wire that you can charge it up, and it plugs into your Android device, so you can charge it. And I actually tested this when we had Hurricane Eta running through my neighborhood. And Eta actually took out my oven. It was the only victim in this house during that storm. But I'm going to be writing about that, so make sure you stay tuned. Follow me on my website. I'm going to be updating that. It's going to have a brand new look, and it's going to have all the things that I do as far as the books that I'm doing. and where you can find them. The fact that I do build websites, so I don't really mention that too often because I'm very picky with the people that I work with, because I've had clients from hell, and I don't want the endless phone calls with clients from hell. So I'm kind of picky. But if you need a website, I will work with just about any budget. And as far as books, appearances, shows, we're updating, trying to get a calendar. Carl Witzman, I know you started it on your Facebook page, like all of the shows that people are doing. I think if more people do that, we'll help each other because they're going to be backlinks and easily found. So if we could all kind of do, if you have a website and you can do kind of a TV guide in a way, or a podcast guide, that would be really super cool. Carl, I'm going to write about this on Geek Insider and probably Wild One forever with this clutch thing. And honestly, I will probably use it as a giveaway to help build up the Geek Insider YouTube channel. So stay tuned for that. It'll be a random drawing to help grow the channel. So it's really cool, but I really try not to collect too many gadgets and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm past the 21-minute mark. Usually I try to keep this like 10 minutes or less, but I just rambled. Why? Because I think I'm procrastinating. No, I know it. I know it. So stay productive, guys. It is Tuesday. It is the 1st of December, and it's cold outside, baby. All right. Stay warm. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Hit the subscribe button.